But you had like a thing to look forward to with this ayahuasca
I had a
thing.
light at the end of the tunnel. And I knew if I got to the light, what's the worst that's going to happen? Just get to the light. But at that point, like I had a son, I had a husband, I had a great company, I have a great house, I have a nice car, I have everything. Why did I want to die every minute of the day? I was at that point again. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, something's got to give. And so I went and I got there, and she is the most intense, beautiful, divine deity or entity or visualization, whatever you want to deem ayahuasca as. Mama Aya is real. And she takes no prisoners. She shows you exactly what you need to see to help yourself, but she does not discriminate against whether you're ready or not. If you've ingested it, she's coming for you. She's going to be either gentle or she's going to beat your ass. And sometimes that's what you need. But she does it in a way that is profound.
So what were some memorable, profound moments for you? What are the places it took you? These people had you meet?
For the first time, I got to be in a group of people who didn't judge me or question my service. They just respected me. That was number one. So that group I lost, I just found again. Big shocker, I was the only woman there again. Ooh, seems to be the thing for me. And so I was surrounded by all these special operators. Like, these aren't like normal soldiers. Like, these guys that I'm with are like Bronze Star, fucking Purple Heart, just the coolest people I've always wanted to be like, that's my buddy. Now I can be like, those are my buddies. Like, those motherfuckers will go to bat for me. They will bend over backwards. They will exfil me out of anywhere. They will take a bullet for me. And these guys welcomed me in a way I didn't expect. So that hit me weird right off the get. I was nervous, and now I was just felt at home for a minute. Mm-hmm. And then when I stepped into ceremony, the first night, because you do 3 nights over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The first night, I was so nervous and so anxious because you go up in ceremony and the shamans come in and they cleanse themselves, and then you get served the Aya individually. You go up, they give it to you. You can take your time and pray. You can do whatever you want, and then you drink it. I was so just like, I got back to my mat and I sat there and I was like trying to keep it in, but I could feel that like heat come from my toes all the way up, and you're like, your mouth starts to water. I'm gonna throw up. And I looked over to Griff and I looked at Bishop, and they're like, swallow it. And I was like, okay. And you can't talk or anything. So I like, my buddy, we call him the Viking, a soul Viking. He looks like a Viking. His head's tattooed. He's been on the show. Uh-huh. He's so cool. He's sitting directly across like you and I, and he can see me, and he's looking at me, and I'm throwing up, and and I do it about 3 times. And then the last time he just saw me and I couldn't do it, and I threw it up. And so I like to think that was her way of easing me in. So I didn't get like a full punch to the face, but I gotta, let me take your hand and show you what I'm going to show you. Mm-hmm. We're going to make you better. We're going to take the pain away.
Aren't you supposed to eventually throw up no matter what?
It's not supposed to. Some people don't. You purge. Yeah. If something's happening, you're going through something. Yeah, you purge, but it doesn't have to happen. But this, I mean, within like the first 20 minutes, no.
Okay.
This takes like, you got to sit and meditate or sit still basically and meditate in the pitch black for about 45 minutes before you even feel her. So it's very...
So here she figured out the right dose you need. Maybe.
Well, because I did the same dose as everyone else. I think it was 20 mils, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you've never done Aya, it is. Oh my God. So I felt like such a bitch. God, I felt like such a bitch.
Okay, that was the thought going through your mind.
Oh, you just fucked it all up. You ruined it. You
Yeah.
ruined this again. You couldn't do this right.
Yeah.
And so at that point, we went through the meditation part, and the shamans they literally sing for like 6 hours straight.
So you sit there, you take it, and then there's just
wait.
You're quietly listening to them.
Meditate, and you wait, and you wait. And you're in pitch black, like can't see this far in front of your face.
Cool.
And you have a little puke bucket, and then you have a little light that has a red filter on it. If you have to get up to go to the bathroom to get out of the yurt, you use that so you don't turn lights on. And I brought like what?
No, it's just a cool visual of just a puke bucket and a little light for the, like, I can imagine these like little lights going every once in a while, and then the rest is just in darkness meditating with this singing.
It's so beautiful.
That's cool.
I'll take you sometime, because trust me, you would. I wouldn't offer if it wasn't the group I would trust.
Yeah, you had a very interesting group. So it's the Heroic Hearts people.
Yeah, Heroic Hearts. So this is Jesse gave us all these journals. They're like, you're going to want these. So he gave us all these journals, and now this is like my Bible, like my work, my everything goes in this with me everywhere. It's just this like silent reminder for me. And so Heroic Hearts does fantastic work. I'll get into them after. The thing with this group is there's such care. It's not like go do Aya and like you're done. There's like integration coaches, and there's like doctors, and there's like people to make sure that you're doing the work, because Aya is just the gate. Now you have to take it and you have to implement it into your life. Mm-hmm. People don't do that though.
Did you do like integration? Did you do conversations with somebody? Did you talk to like, is there a process to, because I've, similar with psilocybin you mentioned, I've, as I understand, it's exceptionally beneficial for when you also do like talk therapy, like you couple that with the integration in some form where you talk through your experience and you talk through different things like that. That seems to be a really, I need to do that more with, basically every substance I take. Like if I get, which I have been every once in a while known to do, a bit of vodka or whiskey or whatever, like do integration the next day.
Well, what did you learn? What did you get from that?
What did you get? Because you learn a lot, but you sometimes kind of just move on and you celebrate that happened, but like really kind of think through it.
Write it down.
Yeah. It's
important, because that's what this was. Mm-hmm. So the first night, I'll give like because trust me, we could spend a whole podcast on all three of those nights. But the first night, the biggest thing that happened for me is I got to see my daughter, which was my first baby. And so people say, well, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. That was my daughter. And I'm very aware it was. I'm very conscious that it was. And at that point, she just eased me in enough to let me know and showed me enough that this wasn't it. This wasn't the end all be all. Where you are right now on this plane, on this dimension, in this life, this is a blip, and it is so minuscule to the big picture. And so she really did that she showed me just a black and then like a crack and then these vibrant colors that I can't describe because there aren't words. Alex Gray does really great art, and that has like been the closest thing I've been able to find colors. He's a famous guy who does ayahuasca, and he's an artist. I think he's got stuff in New York as well. But she eased me in and gave me some relief and showed me enough that I could wake up the next day and not want to die the next day. And so what Heroic Hearts did, because they gave us all these journals, they're like, the next day you kind of wake up and you do a meeting. You do like a circle. All of us sit in a room and talk about what just happened the night before. People are crying and people are quiet, and you just listen. And that's what you do. And then you write on your free time. So after that, it's like up to you what you want to do. Do you want to just go walk in the woods? Well, I chose to go find a fence post and lie on it for an hour. I'm not kidding. I lied there and stared up at these two eagles that were just in like I'll tell you where we were after, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. And then I found a forest, and I just walked up with my book, and I just lied there for hours. And then she all of a sudden started giving me what you call your downloads. So the stuff you learn, the stuff that all of a sudden you're remembering, and these messages that come through. And that's what this is.
What kind of things are we talking about?
So my biggest thing that she tried to reiterate to me at the beginning of that first night was that I don't breathe. I don't breathe. I don't fucking breathe at all. I just, one thing to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, just to survive. I don't take a minute and breathe. And so she made, when I say she, and I say it because it's hard for people to understand, but I showed this to my husband, I showed it to my doctors, and they're like, bitch, that's not you. You don't write like that. You don't talk like that. So like you can flip through it, but it was like, I'll just let Lex read for a second and I'll do an ad for Heroic Hearts. Heroic Hearts. Here, I'll get my papers while you read.
Connect to her, listen to her, open to her. Do you mind if I read some of these?
You can read some of it. Yeah, go right ahead.
The dark has lifted.
Judge my spelling and I'll punch you right in the face.
Well, there's like...
It's very sporadic-y. Sporadically written.
It's okay to be still. It's okay to be quiet. This is good. Like, and these are over a stretch of...
That was the first couple pages were from the first night. This was just that weekend.
And you're just there looking at the eagles.
Yeah, with the pen, just frantic as well, Lex. Not like writing where you're like, oh, I'm just writing. It's like, I had to get it down or I was going to lose it.
You are warrior. You are power. You can. Choose now. Breathe now. Be now. Be present. Be warrior. Be strength. Breathe. Be the strength. You are the strength. There's some soul searching going on here. This is incredible.
Yeah, we wait till you get in there. She gets deep, real aggressive, like.
Crack the door, for I am the light, the giver, the taker. I am warrior, I am life, I am air, I am water, I am fire, I am light. This will, this can, this will, this can. For I am warrior. For I am light. And there's a leaf here. What's the story with the leaf?
I don't know. I was walking, and every single time over those 3 days, anytime I like went for a walk by myself, I would just hear like, take this, like just almost like as if a voice was standing there and be like, you need this, take it with you and keep it in your book. Keep it, ground you. And it just goes
so
up.
This is from there.
Yeah.
It's cool to have sort of, it's almost like time travel.
I have poppies from France too. When I did a 75th anniversary D-Day ride in France where we rode 600 kilometers on our road bikes for charity. And we landed on the beaches of Juneau on the 75th. And we got to go by the poppy fields. And I'm like covered in poppies. And I have some in a book. I don't know why I do that. I do that.
Well, that's cool because like these are your thoughts and those are the physical items. It really helps transport to that place somehow. Let the light in, let her in.
And she would show me these visuals, so my drawings are just like, ah!
Yeah, there's drawings here. And you're seeing this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I can't draw either. So that's why I wish I could draw, because if only I could translate what I could see visually onto paper.
And you're talking to her.
Yeah.
It's time. I'm here to listen. Is this Mama Aya?
Yeah, we call her Mama Aya.
Mama Aya. Mama Aya. So who are you seeing? Is this a woman?
So for me at first, it was just eyes floating in the sky. These unbelievably gorgeous, beautiful eyes and I was like literally looking up at the top of the yurt, and I kept going to myself, is anyone else seeing this? Mm-hmm. There's eyes in the sky.
May I?
Yeah, that's okay. And so there's these eyes floating, and they just kept looking at me. And I remember when I kept telling myself, like, oh, don't worry about it. There's nothing there. She would get angry. I'm right here, pay attention to me. And I'd be like, okay, like forceful, like very forceful. So at first it was just the eyes. The second night, I sound crazy when I say this. Great, that's gonna be my clip. I sound crazy. It's what I do when I get uncomfortable. I do weird hand gestures and movements.
Voices, I like it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. You would hate to be in my office because most of the day it's just this
I love it.
weird lunges and uncomfortable moments. She turned me into a wolf. I know I said it out loud. I hear it. I said it.
Yeah.
Head to toe. And her takeaway for me was, I'm trying to be this pack leader. I'm trying to be this leader in my life. I'm trying to do these things, but I'm going about them the wrong way. So like when the shamans call you up to do their special prayer over you, you go up, you don't touch them. They flash their little light. You see the little light spot. You walk to the light. You sit down on the light. And then my shaman, he's so funny because he's got this great tone in his voice. He goes, how you doing, Kelsi? And I'm like, so hi, yeah, I have a problem. I'm a wolf and I need it to stop.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, don't you worry, girl, I got you. You ready? And I was like, and so I'm sitting there cross-legged. I've got my palms out like this. And I had a really traumatic shoulder injury. So I don't just sit slanted like this. My shoulder is actually permanently detached and no one in the world will touch it or fix it. My collarbone comes out my back here.
Nice.
And I don't have any collarbone here.
Okay.
So nobody will fix it. No one will touch it. Even I've had specialists, I've had surgeries. No one will do anything with it. So I'm permanently down and forward. So I slouch. It's horrible. So before
horrible functionally too?
Like, oh, there's nothing. I can't do a pull-up anymore. Oh, so weak.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'll show you how to do a push-up after. You'll fucking throw up in embarrassment. Yeah, it's bad. So before Aya, though, chronic pain, like had to drink a bottle of CBD every day. Just the pain is so bad because the trauma in it was so bad. The surgery went wrong. The collarbone dissipated and no longer exists. Like there's just, and they're not sure how I lift things with it and do stuff with it. It's like overcompensation everywhere. Like my back, my scapula like flares out where I'm all messed up from it. And so I was in chronic pain. So he's praying over me. And all of a sudden, all I feel is this arm just fucking vibrating. And my hair is really long. And I feel somebody grab the back of my ponytail and snap my head back like this. Mm-hmm. And it felt like something was coming out of my throat, like being pulled out of me. And the takeaway that I end up in the rest of the night, there was a million other things, but the takeaway was, you no longer need to bite. You may only show your teeth. You can be the leader that you want to be. You do not always have to be the traditional type of leader. You can be in the back of the pack. You have to watch the rest around you. Be mindful of those around you. Instead of just being up front, be behind as well. Make sure that everything that you're doing is all being looked after. Because my thing was, I will rip your fucking head off if you just say the wrong thing to me before. Mm-hmm. The whole thing was, you can just show your teeth and that is more than enough. Stop trying to overcompensate. You don't need to do that any longer. Mm-hmm. And then I had this weird astral projection thing happen, like where I was in my house and there were these flyers all over my husband and my son. And like, I went ham on them. I like shredded them to pieces. Like I was this protector. And it's crazy because the guys told me after, like someone would be like, there were flyers all over you the whole night. They were just all over you. And I'm like, I was snarling when I was sitting there. Like the shaman had to be like, I need you to try to calm your breathing after I could. But before, like I was like attacking things beside me that people could see and I could see, but couldn't wrap my brain around that they were real. Like it was weird. This is crazy, man.
That's day 2.
That's day 2.
And so what's the big takeaway there?
My takeaway was I needed to stop trying trying to push everything too hard. Stop trying to force everything. It's all going to come. It's all going to happen. But you are too aggressive. You're trying so hard that you're missing everything else.
Got it. That's just how to be a better human kind of thing.
Right.
This is getting intense.
Yeah, it gets aggressive. Yeah, it gets aggressive.
I mean, there's love and light still.
It gets
love
better.
and light. Love and light, the warrior within is calm. She will test you daily. Show her respect.
So that's what I mean. You've read my book. You know I don't write like that.
Yeah, this is strange.
See? Good, you get it. Because people don't understand when I say I don't feel like I wrote that. I feel like she gave me, like I reread this all of the time.
So I wonder, I mean, well, not obviously, but this is somehow part of you.
I think it's a part of me, obviously.
Reconnecting you somehow to that part. It kind of is incredible to think of what are the things that are part of us that we haven't really explored, you know?
And well, there's so many. We just get
nature, to connect to her, feel her flow through them, use them for the strength for each day a new challenge will present itself. Love, light, breathe.
Sorry, I have too much hair. I'm just complaining.
Never enough. I used to have long hair. What about day 3?
So day 3 is the stuff I talked about on Jocko when I got taken over to the other side. I almost missed that night too. I almost missed that ceremony. I got a false positive on my COVID test, and I got a call from the medical clinic that night being like, you need to come in. You got a false positive on your COVID test, and if you're going to travel, we got to figure this out. You got to come do blood work. You got to come do, whatever it is you need to do if you want to get home, but you got to come do something. And so I didn't think I was going to be in ceremony. I had to leave. So I left, and, they waited. They waited for me. And so I think the biggest takeaway from all of this for me was this isn't it. This isn't everything. This isn't the end all be all. You can fight through this. This is possible. It's going to take work. It's going to be fucking hard. It's worth it though. And if you just keep going in the right direction, everything that I wrote down, every goal, it'll happen.